The other piece that now we're working on, kind of stepping earlier into the pipeline, is we're looking at our college. So how can, or at our high schools. So how can we get our high school students kind of on this pathway earlier on? So that's going to be one of our next evolutions. One of the key pieces that we learned kind of in an evolution was basic skills and the importance of basic skills. And what we've learned is basic skills aren't basic skills anymore. Kind of what was basic skills, reading and math, were great, and those were kind of the foundational elements. But nowadays, that's not basic skills anymore. To work as a cashier at McDonald's, you've got to be comfortable with computers. If you're going to be in a manufacturing floor, you've got to be able to manipulate Excel to report your quality assurance. So your basic skills for entry-level jobs aren't basic skills anymore. Basic skills, when you talk to industry now, are communication. Yes, it's written, yes, it's verbal, but it's also team communication. Sometimes you're dealing with different languages and being able to deal with that. So the basic skills is been a real essential factor to bring in. And it's critical because it's a foundation, especially when you go into some of these trainings. And as Marjorie referenced in hers, when you're looking at cohorts or groups of people that are engaging in training, everybody's not at the same level. So you really need to figure out how you can incorporate basic skills into these trainings, because you're going to have this range of people's skill levels. But your design is to have them move together through these trainings. So integrating basic skills in is really important. The other piece that we continue to hear and have worked to bring in is the work readiness. You can train somebody, you can give them the certificates, but if they don't understand that I got to be to work on time, and I can't tell my boss to go fly a kite, their skills aren't relevant. You can't overcome that. So the other piece that we've had to do is really work to integrate some of those work readiness and work appropriateness factors into the classroom. When they're in there, how they are interacting with their instructors, what their attendance policies are, we need to mimic some of those behaviors, some of those standards in the educational environment, because otherwise they're not going to be prepared to be a quality worker once they leave the educational environment. So those are some additional pieces that we've had to build in. And as you can imagine, the traditional college instructor doesn't necessarily deal with all of these factors. And that's where it's been essential that you have the college in there, that you have them part of that equation, because they're going to deal with the faculty development to help support all of these efforts that you're working on. And the other one is, some of our trainings we've actually been able to work with companies to take them actually to the environment, so that during the training they can actually see the environment. There are times when we've actually been able to bring some of the equipment to the classroom. One of our early trainings was in a lab animal caretaking, and it was preparing people to work in research facilities and where they're working with animals. And it sounds great, but what they didn't necessarily realize was there are times where you have to work for 8 hours in one of those Tyvek suits. How much fun is that? So we actually brought those suits to the classroom. They actually had to sit through class all day in one of these suits. They had to get up and carry hay bales down the hall because that was what you were expected to do on the job. So we needed them to experience this so that they're not shocked when they hit the work floor or when they hit the work environment at what they're being asked to do. How can you bring those elements in, give them some context, give them some experience? It's entertaining from the outsider perspective because I'm not wearing the Tyvek suit, but again, they were better prepared. They knew what to expect when they actually did.